Everybody, Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads, and one of you is going to be getting a listing in the next few weeks from this training. If you actually just do what we talk about today, should be a lot of fun. And I'm going to show you how to, well, let me ask you this. When you walk into a listing presentation, right, if you had the easiest and best layup to get the homeowner to literally sometimes ask you, where do we sign? To argue less about your pricing, argue less about your commission, stop asking, what are you going to do to market my home? How are you different from other agents, right? All of these things that we have happen in a listing presentation, any one of them can knock us off a little bit, right? They start arguing about commission. They don't understand everything that we do. And so if we can walk in with a plan that answers those questions, and then even better, some strategies, sharing it beforehand, how to present it during, using it in the follow-up, but then also to use that same plan to attract other people, to attract other sellers, all right? To attract other sellers at an open house, to attract expired sellers, FSBO sellers, sellers in your database. So all of you right now, there are people that are thinking about selling, all right? Whether they're a seller lead, somebody just living in a neighborhood, expired lead, a FSBO lead. Right now, somebody is thinking about selling, and they see all the ads, they see all the posts, they know real estate agents, but what do you think they would do if they saw an offer via a social media post, via an email, via a print flyer, via being at your open house to get a copy of this 100 plus point home marketing plan? And not just get a copy of it, but to get a copy of it that features their home on the cover, interactive with their home on every single page. All right, interactive where they can click, they can scan, they can text. All right, so we can create these featuring their home on every single image all the way throughout. I mean, they just go nuts. They go absolutely nuts. And then they see the domain for the single property website. They can scan this QR code. They can pull out their phone. And this is such a great bonding moment. We'll talk more about this, but this is such a great bonding moment with the seller, because you pull out your phone, you scan the QR code, boom, their home pops up on your phone, and then you invite them to do it. And the reaction is going to be so great. It doesn't matter if they're young or old. If they don't know how to even do it, even better, because now you're going to walk them through. And if you're not comfortable maybe doing that necessarily for the first time, practice with somebody. Find someone and walk them through as if they had no clue what they were doing to scan that QR code. Because I'm telling you, the kind of the camaraderie that's created by a simple act like that goes a long way to building trust with you, to going through that. Even though it's so benign to us, right? Everybody scans. And even if they know how to scan the QR code, they're going to still have the same thing on their phone like you do. So now we're establishing credibility. We're establishing continuity, right? We're showing, man, our marketing is ready to go, right? Our marketing is, they can even text the text code if they wanted. I mean, how many ways can we get them to interact with the presentation? And then we go here, and now we start showing them the marketing stages coming soon, just listed, right? Open house. If you don't do coming soon, that doesn't have to be there. But we want to show them, right? Not only do we want to show them all of these tools and all of these platforms and all of these things that we're doing, now we're going to walk them through the selling process, and we're going to go all the way through, all right, pending, marketing to just sold, where now look at that. That's their home. You are talking to them consciously, but also subconsciously, that you're going to be the one that gets the home sold, and you're actually showing it to them, right? Kind of like seeing into the future, right? Establishing a vision, and you're doing that right here. All right. You establish your credibility. You got them interactive with it. And now we're walking them through to the finish line, right? Walking through to the finish line. Now, yeah, depends on what you mean by editable. If you want to add things to it, all right. So some people, for example, you might be with leading real estate companies of the world, just send them a second link. Here's the supplement to my main marketing plan. If there's something in here, these images are all editable. The color is all yours. The branding is all yours. But as far as the other pages, coming soon is on off. If you got your client review website with listings to leads set up, let me show you towards the end. Here we go. So that will go to your client review website if you got your client reviews coming into listings to leads. And all right, they can see all your client reviews, Zillow, testimonial tree, Zillow, Google. So your Google reviews, testimonial tree, Zillow, and Facebook. So we can automatically import those. You get that great URL. And now you can share the client reviews will be in there automatically. And, it gets even better because we can create these for a sales area. We can create them for specific properties. So when we got a specific expired, or you got a homeowner that they told you they're thinking about selling, I want you, this is going to be no matter where you're at in your business, by the end of this call, I want you, and you can do it with me while we're together here today, I want you to create one of these presentations and send it to somebody in your database, somebody that's an expired listing. Find them. If you're doing our expired training, we talk about My Plus Leads. You got Mojo, you got Vulcan 7. Look at Zillow, look at your whatever. Find an expired homeowner, right? Find that perfect one. And then create this for their home. And we're going to walk through those steps today. Maybe it's a FSBO. Maybe there's a FSBO in your area. And you're like, hey, you know what? They tried to sell us FSBO a year. In fact, this happened in a training that we did a few weeks ago. They were selling us FSBO for like 6 months in 2025, in the beginning of 2025. One-off market, right? They were FSBO, but then they stopped selling us FSBO. And then 4 or 5 months later, an agent from Century 21 of all things listed the property and got it sold within 3 months. And so there are people, like I said, that are in your area. They maybe tried to sell, they want to sell. They all know agent. Everybody knows a realtor. Everybody knows a realtor. Everybody has a top producer in their area. So what are we going to do to get around that? Well, what we're going to do is we are going to create this presentation. We're going to do a combination of creating it specifically for them and a combination of having just one that we can share with everybody in our sales area. Make sense? So we're going to walk through this today, and I'm going to show you some practical ways that you can literally start getting this in front of people today. All right, because I want, if you actually do what we're going to talk about today, you could easily start creating a conversation with a homeowner. You could get this to them and they get back to you to the point of, hey, we are thinking about selling our home, but maybe not till fall. So you're going to put maybe something in the pipeline, all right, which is always awesome. We want a very full pipeline. I know my job is to fill my pipeline. All right. I don't care if it's in 2027, the end of 2026, because I'm just always filling it. I'm always adding to my pipeline. So the things in the first, the next 30 days, 60 days, they're going to fall in as well. All right. So as long as I'm adding to my pipeline, that's perfect. And some of you could literally get someone to reply back, and people have, right? They send it via text, they send it via email, they door knock. All of these ways, every single one of those methods has resulted in a listing being signed. All right. You text somebody the link to this flip book for them. You email it to them. You print it and you door knock. You put it in the mail. And once you get comfortable doing one of them, you're going to see how to do it consistently, so that I got clients, and the goals they make around these are, and I'm going to show you this one right here, is to get 40 to 80 of these out a month, whether it's via links hard copies. In fact, I got some people, they got a goal of hard copies as well, right? 80 a month minimum to get out. All right. Other people, they're 40 a month, 20 a month. They take them to the open houses. I'll talk more about that in a minute. So with that, everything clear so far? Are we good so far? And then what we're going to do now is we're going to walk through making this. Katie, how do you get a copy of this? How do you get a copy of what I was just showing you? We're going to do that right now. You just cut off and ended. I got to watch again. What? Can everybody hear me okay right now still? A few people look like they got, I'm on a brand new laptop. First day, I just got it last night. My previous one died on me. So let me know if we're good to go or not. Maybe we're not. I had to reset. Katie. Okay, Katie. Awesome. So Katie, I'm not sure if you heard my previous reply to your question about how do you get a copy of this. That's what we're doing right now. So I'm going to log in to listings2leads.com. And oh, Cynthia, that's kind of weird, but yeah, hopefully we're good to go now. You know, in the very, very beginning, because it is a new computer, they had to update something with StreamYard camera viewer, and it said to, to activate, you got to restart. And so, but that was about 2 or 3 minutes before the call, and then it restarted and I got on. So, but regardless, we are going to create, first, we're going to create 2 presentations. One for a particular home, a particular homeowner. So I want you right now, I want you to either think of an actual home, maybe you know it as expired, you've been trying to get a hold of that expired homeowner. It's a great property, right? It was on the market. The market maybe is a little bit better, or you think they got good equity, so you can, they got room to bring the price down a little bit. You just need a way to really cut past all of this blah, blah, blah stuff that you've been communicating. All right. Maybe you've never even reached out to them. Maybe it's a FSBO. Maybe it's a seller lead that you got in your database and you met with them about 2 weeks ago. They haven't given you a definitive answer yet. They haven't listed with anybody else yet. And you want something pretty damn impressive to be able to send to them to knock them over the finishing line. Maybe you've got a listing presentation coming up in the next few days and you want to have something to send to them beforehand, right? You can send this to them via the link beforehand, and then you can bring it with you and engage them through it like we shared earlier. So I want you, wow, we got to, all right, don't put that address down. I don't want anyone else seeing that, Katie. All right. But I love it. So again, all of you, and if you don't have someone in mind, if there's not a home that you got in mind, I want you to just visualize what would it be. And I want you to create this with me right now or a little bit later. Katie, that's awesome. Good job. That's perfect. All right. So here we go. Add listing manual. And from here, so here's where the magic is. The magic is this right here. It's the status. Notice where listing presentation. So if it's going to be for a seller lead, you got a listing presentation coming up. All right, that's what you're going to use. If it's going to be for an expired homeowner, all right, we can use expired. Canceled, I just use expired for canceled, but you can do canceled as well. And then we got for sale by owner and even for sale by owner draft. So I want you right now, and you could be literally brand new, one day in the business, just think of there's a farm and there's a home in that farm, all right? And you're just like, oh my God, I'd love to list that. Now in the beginning, of course, we want to be thinking about expireds and FSBOs because we know they've already tried to sell their home and didn't, all right? And again, if you got seller leads in your database, the listing presentation coming up. So I'm going to go listing presentation. And now I don't even have a listing presentation coming up. So the one I'm visualizing is there is a seller lead in my database, right? I've talked to them. They're thinking about selling their home at some point. Again, this might be someone that you interviewed with a few months ago and they haven't moved at this point, right? They haven't listed with anybody. So, I know their name. So Frank Jones. I don't need the email or phone number. And of course, I know the address, right? We all. All right. So, all right, there's the address. I don't need to put anything here. This is all, just leave it blank. We're 2/3 of the way done. We're literally 2/3 of the way done. Now, we need a photo. So all you have to do is just Google the address. All right, Google the address. Here, let me show you. Let me do this. I'm going to go to my other monitor and I'm going to, and I'll bring it over here in 1 second, but I'm just going to Google. So that way we can all see. So see, if you Google an address, right, check this out. Even that little tiny one, check this out. If I right click, copy image, and then I go over to ChatGPT, watch this. I'm going to paste it in. Please make me a full image for my real estate marketing. Adjust colors to be as if professionally shot. All right, so imagine all we can get is this tiny little square, or it's fuzzy, or there's a car in the driveway, or there's trash cans. You know what I mean? So we're going to find a photo of the property. Hey, if it's perfect, go, beautiful thing. That's awesome. It's probably not going to be perfect. So I'm going to use I'm going to throw what I can get into ChatGPT, whatever program that you want. Give it some instructions. So in this case, had there been a car in the driveway, I would have said, take the car out. Had there been trash cans, take the trash cans out. If the sky was gray, I would say, make it a blue sky. Now, a lot of that will get removing cars and trash cans won't get caught by the, for my real estate marketing, right, as if professionally shot. But so that will adjust all the colors and make it really beautiful. So one last tweak. Let's just give it a minute. It's being a little bit slow, but that's fine. I just like to show this because a lot of people, we all know what we know and we don't know what we don't know. So I always find people are pretty, it's just a good reminder if you don't know how easy this is. And it just looks so much better. Look at that. Ooh, that is hot. And I know that house, and that's pretty dead on. So I'm going to just save this file. Did it download? Perfect. There we go. So back in listings to leads, right, where we're adding upload image. And I'm going to upload. Wow, look at that. That's going to look so hot. And we're done. It's just going to refresh. So what do? We clicked a button. We selected listing presentation. We could have been canceled, expired FSBO, but listing presentation, because I'm going to go after, I got to set a lead in my database, right? Great home. He's been there for 15 years, right? So I know they've been there for a long time. Their kids just graduated a few years ago. I've talked to them in the past, right? Like I said, they're thinking about selling. So I'm not, why don't I just do this? But again, it could be an expired. It could be a FSBO, all right? Now, we're going to give it about a minute and a half. It's going to generate the flip book. So right now what is happening is it is creating the flip book. It's creating the downloadable PDF and JPEG files for the printable version. But right now, the landing page is live. Now, this is awesome. This is great to send to a homeowner. Like I could send this right now. This could be what I actually send to that seller, that potential seller that I'm visualizing right now. So this landing page could be what I send to him. And that way they're going to see their home on the cover. They're going to see their name. And on a phone, it's actually bigger on a phone. So if they're looking at it on a phone, they'll see their name, right, the address, but they're going to recognize their home on the cover. On the left, it says the complete marketing plan to get sold for the highest and best offer. So this link right here, and here, check this out. I just click that link, and I'm going to pop it into the chat. So imagine that's just my phone. Imagine I just took that and I dropped it into my phone. And boom, hey, John, I just wanted to give you a 100-point home marketing plan for your home. Let me know if you have any questions. And then that way he would have to, or she, they go download, put in their name, their email, their phone number, click download now. And as soon as this is generated, right, that landing page will be good to go. So it's going to be about another 30 seconds. Let me also show you the property website. And look at that domain, 849goldlane.worldsbestlisting.com. This right here. Maybe they don't respond in a few days. Send them this. Imagine you are a homeowner and all of a sudden you get a link via text or via email, and it's your address. And it's your address.worldsbestlisting.com. I mean, you don't think that's going to get their attention? Type yes if you think that would get their attention, right? I mean, dude, I'd be like, here, I'm going to put in heck yes. All right. That is going to get their attention. So after a couple of days, maybe I send the landing page link. A couple of days later, they don't respond. I send a link to the property website. It's gorgeous. And then a couple of days later, all right, your report is ready. Flip book. There we go. Prepared for Frank Jones at 849 Gold Lane, Folsom, California. It's got my introduction. All right. Beautiful. That's look at that. And that image looks great. And it looks way better than what we were able to find. Imagine I took that little tiny preview thumbnail, stamp-sized image. You saw me just right-click, copy image, drop it into ChatGPT, give me a full-size image as a professionally shot by a real estate professional photographer. Make the sky blue, take out the trash cans. Thank you. Thank you. So look at this. It's beautiful. Look at that domain right there. So when I am presenting this to a homeowner, right? So let's say they call me back, or let's say I'm actually with them face to face, or you're door knocking, all right? And I got a whole thing on door knocking. All you got to say, all right? And again, you don't need to oversell this. You don't need to be like, oh my God, what do I say in every page? You don't even need to worry about that, because they're going to be looking at this and they're barely going to hear what you're saying, because they're just thinking, wow, this is really cool. All right, this is really cool. Oh, that's my name. They love their name. They love their home, right? They see the address. They're going to just they're going to start perusing through this. They're going to start either clicking, or if they got the hard copy, right, they're going to just start looking through it. And all you have to say is, as you can see, we have got the strongest marketing plan possible to make sure that every home that we market hits the ground running from day one, to get in front of the most and best buyers possible, to make sure you get the strongest offers in the quickest amount of time. And as you're saying that, and they're scrolling through the hard copy, the online copy, whichever, and then they get here, and this is the engagement point. So this is when we're going to say, and notice the domain, right? Notice the URL, right? That's your street address. That's 849goldlane.worldsbestlisting.com. Boom. If you're with them and you're on a laptop or a tablet, maybe they got the hard copy because you printed it. And this is, down the road when you got a listing presentation. So just a little tip. When you get to here, kind of swing it around so you can show them that you're clicking on it. All right. And just say again, right, that's the domain, that's your home, and we're got all the professional photography, and the video is going to be here. We do 3D tours. They're going to be on here. So this will be the central marketing hub for your property. All right. We got other things to better engage people, to keep them here longer. All right. And again, they're going to see your reviews. Look at that. Other listings. And then I got some custom content I added to mine. There's my 3D tour example, so they can see that I do 3D tours. They can see I do property. We literally just created this, 3 minutes ago? Right, 3 minutes ago, we created this. Scan the QR code. So again, because now we're facing them, and this could be also while you're on the phone. Maybe you send it via text. So keep some of these conversation ideas in mind, because you can use them over the phone, over text, in person. So maybe I text it to them and they don't respond after a few days. Then I might respond back after I send maybe the flip book. Maybe before I send the single property website, I text them and I say, on page 15, notice the single property website with your home address, and it's clickable if you want to see it. I like that. Hold on one second. I'm going to add that to, you got to give me a minute. That I like that. Sometimes, when you're doing a call and you're like, oh my God, because I know I'll never remember that later. So if I go, let's just rehash it one more time. So we send a text with, like I said, it could be the landing page. It could be, in fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go add page. So we're going to do this together. Text 1, landing page. And this could be, again, listing presentation, seller lead, expired lead, FSBO lead. So text landing page, text 2, text flip book, and of course, write email, flip book, mention SPW link on page 15. All right. Text number 4 will be maybe the actual single property website. All right. And then maybe text 5, mention client reviews on page, I believe it's page 26. And last, I'd go text 6, mention text for more info, text code on page 16. Because on page 16, and everyone's book can be a little bit different. If they were to text 1005 to 25678, so whatever it is in yours, right? Get them to engage with it, because you're gonna, it's awesome, because if they do that, you're gonna get a notification that they did it. So it's awesome. And in fact, I know people, they get these and they take them into a listing presentation, all right, to have another prop to come in there with, and they actually do it with the client, similar to doing the scanning of the QR code. You know what I'm talking about? So actually getting a sign writer, right? Text for more information, like I got right there. And they will take that into a listing presentation. Again, just to have more engagement, a little bit more showmanship type of thing. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Now, here is the downloadable PDF. And there's also, I can download the JPEG zip file. So, we can text them, we can email them. Now I can maybe they don't, they don't respond to the email, to the text message. Well, now I can print this. I've got a binder at home. Maybe you got one at the office. You can get them on Amazon for like $50. Right, there's the link. And there's the property website. Or I'm sorry, the QR code. So, right, it's just the same thing as the flipbook, of course. One is so that we can send it via text and or email or even DM. I could go into Facebook. Maybe I know you. Maybe I know you're on Facebook, right? I'm not going to post it publicly because I don't want anybody else to know about it. So I'm not going to post it on their timeline. But I could send it to them via a DM on Facebook. What is a good binder? You know what? Hold on, I'll show you. Let me bring up Amazon. I know I've got these saved somewhere, but to be honest, I think it's going to be just easier. So give me 1 second. Binder, spiral. Give me a second because I've got this one. And I'm going to bring it over to show you. I'll give you the link. So I highly recommend this one. And the reason is, hold on, I'm dropping that link. All right. The reason is, now I've got one that's thermal, and they got thermals for the same price range. The problem I don't like with thermals is, check this out. Whoa, you see that right there? And I even had it tilted a little bit like this. It wasn't even like that, right? So the thermal is easy to fall back on itself, and it's hard to kind of see the content that's in here. So when I've got a spiral, it just lays completely flat, right? So it's perfect. I don't have to kind of hold it open. The spiral just sits there. So I like the spiral. And it's quicker. The thermal sits there for like 3 or 4 minutes and it's warming up, and and to be honest, the thermal one, I never know if it's working because it's silent. And so it's sitting there and I have to keep touching it while it's heating up to see if the thermal one's working. And just kind of more go wrong. It's easier to screw up the thermal if you don't leave it in long enough or whatever. It looks clean. And you can add the cover to the spiral. I just forgot to. But so that this has a cover and I can do the same with a spiral. So hopefully that answers your question. It's important. Printing this is one thing. Now, I'll tell you, I literally had a client. She signed up for listings leads on a Wednesday. She got in here. She created what I showed you. She created what I showed you. It was her mentor told her to sign up for the listing presentation because she had this listing presentation the next day. Created what I just showed you, printed it, didn't have a binder. She shows up to the listing appointment with she said, a $2 folder from Walmart that these were just paper clipped, right? It's like a paper clip in a $2 Walmart binder, like the kind that, you take to high school or elementary school. So I thought that was so funny. I thought that was hilarious. So are we good for this one? Now check this out. Well, actually, I'll get to that in a minute. Let me close. We got that. We got that. We got that. Now, let me close this one. Now, are we good? Do all of you have somebody in mind? Maybe, like I said, it's a subtle lead in your database. It is somebody you know. It's an expired lead. It's a FSBO lead, right? Does everybody here have somebody in mind? Because I want you, as soon as we're done at this call and you got 10 minutes, I want you to create the presentation. You know how to get a photo and make it great. All right. You know how to, so there should be no excuse. I want you then to, and I'm going to take this, if anybody wants to take this, I'm going to drop this into the chat. Now I will build this out more, but let me, hold on 1 second. I'm dropping it into the chat for you. Man, if you know how to set up a campaign in your CRM, right? You can set this up as a campaign in your CRM to just go out automatically based on the tag that you give to the contact. So, or, set it up and then, you could add people to it. So, but anyway, you can just do it from your phone. Do it as a one-off, right? Like I said, and if you don't have a seller lead, right, you don't have someone to create this for, find an expired in your area. There are dozens, hundreds of homes in your area that have expired between today and 2 years ago that will still be selling. So find one. If you don't know how to find one, talk to your broker, get My Plus Leads, get, Mojo, whatever, where you can then go in and like literally get all the contact information, the phone numbers, the emails and everything, and pick one to do this for, right? Worst case scenario, do it for your own home, but it's like, why not just create one for an actual seller? All right, it's a little bit more fun, right? It's a little bit more fun when we create it for an actual seller. All right, so we know how to create it. We know how to find them, I think. All right, we've been just talking about that. We know how to send a text and an email. All right, so we can get it over to them. We know how to print them. So if we want to go door knock them, if it's an expired from 3 or 4 months ago, I would text them, email them, right? Give them a little bit of heads up, because I can do that right from my computer. But then I might print it up and just go door knock them. I literally door knocking, either this presentation or the next one that we're going to create in about 30 seconds. Either one are phenomenal for door knocking and putting listings into your pipeline faster than any other method possible, I think, because I can group, like I said before, 4 to 5 expireds in Whitney Oaks and, Bellingham Estates, right? Whatever. And I'm just going to prepare these, either the one that we've already done, or like I said, the one that we're going to do next. I'm just going to go door knock these people. And my numbers on door knocking is about 20% to list. All right. 20% to list. Now that means you've actually door knocked, right? And they were home. So if you go door knocking 4 to 5 homes, half are not going to be there. But that's why you want to put them all in the same area. So that way, in case 1 or 2 people are not, and preferably in an area that I'm already going to be in anyways. So if you're going to be doing a showing in Whitney Oaks tomorrow, why not go, hey, why don't I find 4 or 5 expireds in Whitney Oaks? Why don't I get myself set up, since I'm going to be there anyways, to go spend an hour door knocking? And if nobody's home, I'm done in 20 minutes. And if people are home, maybe it's going to take me 3 hours. I've had people take two hours to door knock 3 to 4 homes, because they get invited in for a home tour. They sit there and have a great conversation. So, it's pretty powerful. This is all inside of Listings to Leads. Here. If you're not a client, sign up for a free trial. Everyone gets a free 30-minute-ish, like 25-minute onboarding session, right? Just kind of walk you through the account, answer some questions that you may have. We do a lot of live training, but recorded training as well. Okay. So part 2, and this is as powerful. All right. This is as powerful. We are going to create now give me a second. I'm going to show it to you. We're going to create one for our farm area, for our sales area. So there's no address on the cover. There's no seller name on the cover. You may not be able to see what I'm holding up, right? I'll show you the flipbook version of that. And right here, beautiful home, Placer and El Dorado counties. So this right here. So there's no home address on it. There's no seller's name on it, right? It just has the complete marketing plan to get your home sold. The 2020s, and this headline that's in the blue bar is completely customizable. And I'll give you some ideas and examples. So the headline here says the 2026 100 plus point home marketing plan to get homes sold fast with the strongest offers. So I just changed the cover to be a little bit more custom for what I want. And then it's going to walk them through, same as what we saw earlier. Still has a domain. It still has the QR code, the text code. It walks them through all the way from coming soon, just listed, active, open house, pending, marketing to just sold. A little pro tip here. I love leaving the coming soon. Leave the coming soon, even if you do not do coming soon as a marketing status. So maybe in your area, I can't do coming soon. Why would I leave it? Well, I like to have it there as an anchor to talk about getting the listing photos done, getting the videos done, getting the 3D tour done, getting the property cleaned out, getting the yard rate, all right, whatever. So even if I'm not doing coming soon as an active marketing status, I like to leave it because, as we all know, there are always activities that need to be done before we go to market. So just a quick pro tip on the coming soon. I like it for everyone to leave it. And it just gives you more to talk about, more value. You can't assume they're going to know everything that we do, because they don't. They don't know what we do. So if we can have something like this that wows them, because now it's their home, we're showing them what we do, showing them with their home. All right. So let's create now one for our sales area. So write down your sales areas. So give me, I want to make sure that we're clear here. Could you do this for a neighborhood? You could. I would keep it more, I would create at least one for my entire sales area. So Northern California. All right. The one that we're going to create right now is what I would take to an open house. So this one right now is phenomenal for any kind of lead, seller lead, expired, FSBO. You can use this because it's kind of like this is our catch-all in a sense. And you've even got one in your account right now that's ready to go that we're going to get to next. So, sorry, somebody give me an area. Give me a sales area. I think somebody said they were in Cape Coral, or was that this morning? I can't remember. All right. So Patricia, Steve, Eric, somebody go ahead and type down Cynthia, type in a location for me. And no, fortunately these are not in Spanish, but you might be able to use an app or Google Translate for them. Yeah, definitely. All right, I will pick one. So here we go. We're creating the presentation for our entire sales area. All right, add listing manual. Just like before, same thing as before. Listing presentation. All right, again, this could be expired. This could be FSBO, canceled. Headline, the 100 plus point home marketing plan to get your Northwest Cape now. See, I wouldn't do Northwest Cape Coral. Just do Cape Coral. In fact, I would actually do Cape Coral and Fort Myers home sold. All right. Now, pay attention here because we're going to just tweak this. Check this out. Street, because we're not marketing a specific home, are we? City, Cape Coral. Just pick any zip code. The zip code doesn't display. Save and add photos. Now, what I do for the photo here, let me show you. Here, I actually have a lot of fun. And we did this morning live. Or no, I did it last night. So here's a photo, like an actual listing photo for somebody. So this is like an actual home. This is somebody's house. And I right click, pasted it into ChatGPT, because what I want is an image that is custom, that only I have. I don't want some other home, right? That's like a stock image. All of a sudden they see, my marketing, and there's like another agent with the same stupid home in their marketing. So you don't want to be using stock photos, and it's not really appropriate to use somebody's actual home. So what I do is I just put that into whatever AI program you want, and I'll give you the prompt I used. Nothing earth-shattering. So I say, make it appropriate for Tulare, California. So I want it for the area, right? So Cape Coral, Fort Myers. I just said, make it look a little nicer, make it a little nicer looking, less prominent on the driveway. All right, still pretty prominent, but whatever. Change the door, change to, oh, that's funny. I meant to say change it to a one-door garage. Change the entryway and landscaping, change the color of the home and the roof line and material, add trees to the backyard, but just a few appropriate for the area. Essentially change everything. Right? So I like the home for the bones, but then I want to upgrade it. And so we went from this to this. And I don't want to use something too expensive. I don't want to use like a $3 million luxury home for this, but I want to be aspirational. So if the average home is 500, the high-end luxury is $1 million, I want to be like in the 750 range, kind of in the middle there. So now that we got a great image, just like before, just upload your image, right? You can click here, upload your image, insert it, and we're done, just like last time. It's essentially add listing manual, listing presentation, or change it to whichever seller, right, niche you're going after. If it's a specific homeowner, a specific property, we're going to put the seller's name, the street address, city, state, and just add the picture of their property. I mean, how could it be any easier? And then for the one for an area like this right here, a beautiful home, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Florida, we're just going to do a little bit differently. So we don't have a seller. So we're going to put in the headline, and then we just put a beautiful home instead of the street address, and instead of just the city, like I said, because I want to be able to use this for my entire area. So when I have an open house, this is the one I'm going to take with me. All right. If I've got seller leads, because I can't, not everyone is going to get one of these specifically for their home, are they? You got to print them. If you're not going to print them, you got to send it to FedEx Kinko's. That's $20. If you print it, it's still $10. All right. And it's your time. And you got to, add it to your account. So now when I got this one right here, I can use it for everybody. So I'm going to create the one specifically for people where it's either like high intent. Again, I got a listing presentation. I really, really, really want it. Like, oh my God, I want it. So I'm going to go all out because I want that listing. I don't want, and if you've been in the business for a long time, I think so-and-so might get that listing because that's in her neighborhood. And, she listed it 15 years ago when the people took owners back, blah, 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 blah. I want to have something to just knock it out of the park. I want to show up that top agent in that neighborhood, right? So, I'm going to add them to my Listings to Leads account. I'm going to create the flip book. I'm going to send it via text. I'm going to use that campaign that we just developed together that I shared inside of the chat, which I'll share it again at the end of this call if we need to. But what a great little text and email. This should say text and email sequence. All right. And this would work for seller leads, right? Landing page. Okay. Well, you know what? It's the same idea with this one. So here's the landing page. The complete marketing plan to get a beautiful home in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Florida, so highest and best offer. We got the property. Now, I might not use this landing page so much, but as soon as that flip book is ready, we'll take a look at it. And then we got the downloadable PDF as well. Now, I've already got one. I don't want us to have to wait around because it's going to take about another minute, right? So it'll be right there. Now, I've already got one, listing presentation, beautiful home, Placer in El Dorado County. Here's my landing page, and here's the flip book. And just like before, I'm going to prepare a text. So I'm going to say in text number 2. So let's say it's a seller lead. Hi, John. I just want, in fact, I'm going to say, see the 100 plus point home marketing plan I created for your home. Bump. That right there. Like literally, you can create that in a Word doc and then text it to them. Put it in Follow Up Boss and then text it to them. Make sense? And then text number 3. Hi, John. See the property website with your address in the URL. If you're going to say, see the custom property website with your address in the URL on page 15 at the link above. And then I might say, right, and these are all like 2-day delays, right? No reply in 2 days, right? They're gonna do that one. No, or you can even do a week, right? So you can do 7 days, 4 days, whatever you think. Here I might say, hi, John. If you want to try the automated text code I created for your home, please text the number on page 16 above. Right, so now I've got, just to be honest, completely just off the top of my head, a pretty fun, nice little text/email campaign that I can use. Whether it's the ones I'm creating specifically for somebody, all right, and I can, or just, you know, reword it just a little bit if I'm using the one that I created for my area. Now let's go back and look at the one for Fort Myers. That should be good to go. We got the property website. We got the links. All right, so here we go. Beautiful home, Cape Coral, Fort Myers. Here's the flip book. So the complete marketing plan to get your home. So imagine you're a Cape Coral, Fort Myers homeowner. You're going to look at that and you're going to go, yeah, that looks like a home in our area. I'm not sure whose home, but it looks great. Nice, beautiful blue sky. You got some green grass, right? The right kind of landscaping. And it says the complete marketing plan to get your home sold, the 100-point marketing plan to get your Cape Coral and Fort Myers home sold. Cool. It's got my introduction, the marketing plan, just like the one when we create it specifically for somebody. Still got the domain. Still got the QR code we can scan. It's got the text code. So all of this language around interacting with it, whether it's person to person, whether it's over the phone, email, text message, smoke signals, right? We can still direct them through here, right? Invite them to engage with different aspects of it, right? We could even mention, right? Another text might say, hey, on page 27, you can I got some great PDF guides that you might find useful, including 5 dangers of overpricing your home, or including 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your home, right? So these PDF guides right here, right? Scan the QR code, landing page, and they can download the guides right there automatically. Like, it's all, some of you are probably going like, wait, where the hell did all that come from, right? It's all automatic. It's all set up for you. Here's my PDF right there. Already created all the JPEG files. All right. So who here, I'm going to ask a couple of questions, and this is going to set you off to getting a listing in the next 7 to 14 days. All right. Or at least a listing that you're excited about in your pipeline that wasn't there before. So first, do you understand how to create these for specific people and also just for your area? All right, let me know yes or no. Yes or no. Yes or no. All right. So A, hopefully you're yes to that. This is being recorded. You can always come back and watch it later if you need to. Number 2, do you have somebody in mind? All right. Even if it's only that you'll look up some expireds or FSBOs after this call, and you got a neighborhood in mind, or do you have a seller in mind? Do you have a seller lead? Do you have a listing presentation coming up? Do you have a seller that you met with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago that hasn't pulled the trigger yet? All right. So do we have the person? So we got the presentation. We know how to do it. We got the person. All right. Now, number 3, do you know how to get it to them? Do you know how to send the flip book? All right. I mean, we've kind of modeled that a few times. All right. And you can, if you want to, you could even create a bit.ly link or a tiny URL for texting. All right. So so question number 3, we're going to text it to them. We're going to email it to them. We're going to, if we know them online, maybe we DM it to them. I shared with you, in fact, I'm going to give this to you. Now that link will be broken. In fact, I'm going to take the link out. Well, I'll leave it in there. But that link will be broken after this call. Actually, I'll swap that link out with a permanent one. So I'm even giving you, like, off the top of my head, an easy 6 text campaign that you can fill out. Now I got like 2 weeks worth of texting, right? Every 3 or 4 days when they don't respond. And I can also pop this as an email. So when I'm looking up expireds in My Plus Leads, or if I got somebody in my database, I got their phone number and their email. So I can deliver this via text. I can deliver it via email. And then if I want to go to the next level, whether it's going to be the presentation for their specific home, or it's the one for my general sales area, I'm going to go door knock them. Make sense? Yes. Only get 10 listings through, correct? Well, yeah, we got different levels of service. I mean, if you're on a team, you get unlimited listings or office account. If you're an agent, you can upgrade to 20, 30, 40, 50, I think, or something. But if you go to the website, you'll see all of that. You can ask our support. But yeah, you can definitely get more than 10 listings. All right. So 3 questions we went through. Number 4 is, are you going to do it? Are you going to do this? You know how to create the presentations in 2 minutes. I'll give you 3 to come up with the image. In 3 minutes, you can have one of these done. All right. Then we're going to contact somebody. We're going to send it to them. You don't even have to call them. just send it to them via text. All right. I want you to text and email them. And then I want you to be thinking about door knocking as well. All right. So again, we're going to create it. We're going to identify/find a seller, and we're going to get it over to them. And then we're going to follow up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I know, and you don't have to do it only once. You can repeat this over and over again. And that's why I showed you the one for the area, because, come on. Am I going to add 2 to 3 listings a day and, just, recreate every single time? Or do I want to have the ability to create one for somebody specifically when I want to just, I want to go all the way out. I want to just knock it, right? I want them to just, I don't even want there to be any question about it. So I create it for them specifically. But I've also got the ability to still blow it out of the water by creating one for my area. All right. Oh yeah, that photo is nice. Okay, good. Right. And I start texting this to my seller leads. Seller, expired, FSBO, canceled, right? Whatever. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is you can order these from us. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't want to lose that. Hold on. Let me bring this over for you. But these you can order, and I'm just going to give you the link. It's in our school classroom. Order the presentation booklets. And I'm going to put this in StreamYard. Now you can order these for any status you want. It could be for listing presentation, for seller leads, expireds, FSBOs, cancels, I think as well. Let me see if that's just the right link. I'm going to give you a different link. Hold on a second. Hold on. If I do expired order, this is the one you want. 1 second. Because here you can order, right? You can order whichever version you want. And then you can order, what we do is we build it out for you. We send it to you for approval, make sure it looks good. And they're magazine quality. And I got people that order and reorder these things, right? Look beautiful. All right. And then you can get 30 or 40. I got someone just ordered another 50 yesterday. I got another broker in Florida who's ordering a bunch more. So these are awesome to be able to have a literal magazine. And so one of my people around here, I told her I want her to have 3 or 4 of these. Actually, 3 of them at the open house, right? Three of these, the PDFs, right? The PDF of this right here, of this exact thing, right? So I want her to have 3 of this version, but it's to be printed at the open house, just 3 of them laying there. And that way, when homeowners are walking through and they see a little stack, imagine like a little stack, right? And the complete marketing plan to get your home sold, right? The 100-point marketing plan to get your Cape Coral and Fort Myers home sold. They're going to be looking at that. And if we have a nice conversation, I can either offer to give them that copy right there and or send it to them via text or email because I got the link, and or create a version specifically for them featuring their home. Oh my God. In fact, people I know borrowed a listing last week, got a hot seller lead and a buyer lead, right? So anything else? Are we good? Hate to go over. I apologize. If you have any questions, let me know. This recording will be on our YouTube channel. So inside of your Listings to Leads account, if you click resources, give it a second here. So YouTube. So we have a playlist called webinars, past webinars, I believe, or current webinars, maybe. Anyways, and also the live tab. And then we got a Facebook mastermind group here, and Instagram, live webinar support, and our blog. All right. So everybody, listen, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for hanging out. I want to hear your feedback. I want you to get into the mastermind group. All right. I want you telling me what you're doing, because if you share and if you communicate a little bit with me in the mastermind group, right, I will encourage you to get it done, and I will answer your questions. So anything that is blocking you, anything that's holding you back, we'll walk you through it and get a listing for you in the next 1 to 2 weeks. With that, have a beautiful day, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.